Money can buy the outfit, the car, even the accent. But the true class always shows through. There are certain signs you simply cannot imitate, no matter how much designer, makeup, or confidence you try to pile on. And the best part? Once you know them, you'll spot the difference instantly. Today, let's decode the signs of class that are impossible to fake. And trust me, one of these signs is so subtle, it exposes someone within 30 seconds of meeting them. Let's begin. Number 1. Unforced presence. You've probably seen both extremes. The person who bursts through the door like they're making a Broadway entrance, and the one who hovers near the wall, half apologizing for existing. Both are exhausting. People who fake class almost always overdo it. Louder entrances, stiffer posture, dramatic hand gestures, like they're playing a part they don't fully understand. But real presence is quieter than that. It's in the way someone walks into a room and simply belongs there, without effort. Just a steadiness that says, I'm comfortable here, whether you notice me or not. That's why it can't be faked. You can mimic the look, but if your presence feels forced, the cracks show immediately. Number 2. Ease under scrutiny. Picture this. You're at a dinner table, laughter quiets for a moment, and suddenly you feel every pair of eyes land on you. Do you fumble with the glass, or do you flow? That's the difference. People with real class don't flinch when the spotlight shifts their way. They sip, sit, cut their food. Naturally, like they've done it 1,000 times. There's no exaggerated grace, no nervous tick, just unbothered movement. Now think of the pretenders. They stiffen up, overthink every gesture, tilt their chin a little too perfectly, or take a sip like it's an audition for an etiquette commercial. Here's the catch. You don't need to be flawless when people are watching. You just need to be at ease in your own skin. Because class isn't about never being seen. It's about not crumbling when you are. Number 3. Subtle generosity. I'll admit it. This one gets me every time. I've seen people donate to causes with an entire press release attached, headlines flying within the hour, like the act of giving won't count unless the whole planet is notified. It's almost as if the real gift wasn't to the cause, but to their own reputation. And then you see the opposite. People who donate quietly without seeking a spotlight. Generosity with choreography isn't generosity. It's PR. The Instagram story. The humble brag. The staged photo op. It's theater in designer clothes. Whereas true dignity gives without turning it into content. Number 4. How they speak about absent people. Want to know if someone has composure? Don't watch how they act when you're around. Watch what happens the second you leave the room. If the smile vanishes faster than free wine at a wedding and the gossip knives come out, that's not refinement. There's always that couple at dinner who nod enthusiastically, "Darling, you look incredible." Then the moment the poor soul goes to the restroom, it's, "Did you see those shoes?" It's so predictable it could be a drinking game. If someone's absent and suddenly their friends turn into fashion critics, comedians, or detectives, well, nothing strips dignity faster than giving a standing ovation, then booing the minute the curtain closes. Number 5. No blame hunting. When something goes wrong, some people treat it like an episode of crime drama. The train's late? Who picked this route? The presentation glitched? Who forgot the cable? Suddenly, it's less about fixing the problem and more about announcing who should wear the scarlet letter. Refined people don't play that game. They don't waste breath hunting for a guilty party while the situation burns. They shift straight into calm solution mode. If the projector dies, they keep talking. If dinner flops, they laugh, improvise, and pour more wine. Problem solved. No bodies left on the floor. Because nothing kills elegance faster than turning every hiccup into a courtroom. Real class doesn't point fingers. It smooths edges. And even if you avoid all these, there's one subtle giveaway that exposes pretenders almost instantly. But we'll get to that. Number 6. What they don't need to prove. You've probably met someone who treats every conversation like a competition of who's busier, more stressed, or more important. I'm just so overwhelmed. My job is impossible. I'm naturally humble. The louder they announce it, the less convincing it feels. It reminds me of a teacher I once had. If anyone tried to excuse themselves from class by saying they weren't feeling well, she'd reply, "Who feels well these days?" Brutal, but also a reminder that most of what people announce is just noise. People with true composure don't need that noise. They don't list off how much they're juggling. They don't justify every action. They don't use exhaustion as a badge of honor. They just carry themselves steadily. No defense, no monologue, no self-advertising. And that's exactly why people notice them. Because in a world where everyone's narrating their resume out loud, the one who doesn't try to prove anything ends up being the most believable of all. Number 7. Vocabulary of restraint. It's not about sonnets over coffee, but it is about what you leave out of your mouth. Real class shows itself in the absences. No gossip grenades tossed into the middle of brunch. No vulgarity every second word. No endless bragging disguised as storytelling. The mask of borrowed polish cracks when frustration hits. You can spot it instantly. The person who's been carefully curating their image all evening suddenly stubs a toe or spills a drink and, boom, the vocabulary collapses into a string of words that could strip paint. In that moment, you don't remember the designer shoes, you remember the outburst. There's also the bragging voice. You know it. The casual way someone repeats their vacation destination 3 times in one sentence, or turns a simple, "I had lunch" into, "when I had my private lunch at the Four Seasons." Number 8. The grace of admitting when you don't know something. This one's a big one. I'm sure you know that person who would rather die than admit ignorance about anything. Wine tasting? Oh yeah, totally getting those oak undertones. That indie band everyone's talking about? Of course I know them, love their early stuff. Spoiler alert, they are fooling exactly nobody. Real confidence means being comfortable saying, "I don't know much about that. Tell me more." It takes genuine strength to admit the limits of your knowledge without feeling like your entire identity is crumbling. Number 9. They never punch down. Here's something I've noticed about people with genuine dignity. They never use their position, knowledge, or advantages to make others feel small. They don't mock people for mispronouncing words. They don't make jokes at the expense of those who can't fight back. And they certainly don't use sarcasm as a weapon to establish dominance. The most genuinely classy people I know use their knowledge and experience to help others, not to prove how superior they are. They share information without condescension. They offer help without making it feel like charity. And they celebrate other people's successes without feeling threatened by them. Number 10. The afterglow test. Here's the one most people miss. How you feel after they've left the room. With poise, you feel respected, calmer, even elevated. With fake class, you feel judged, drained, or vaguely uncomfortable. And that feeling? Impossible to fake. It lingers long after they're gone. And that's the real test. The truth is, these signs aren't about perfection. They're about patterns. And once you spot them, you'll notice them everywhere. In colleagues, strangers, even in yourself. So tell me, which of these signs do you spot the most around you? Drop it in the comments. I'll be watching. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you're already thinking of gifts, my curated pics are linked below. As always, stay classy, manners matters.